We are right around the corner from WrestleMania, the show of shows, the grandest stage of them all, the showcase of the immortals, It's proving to be one hell of a card with Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, and Brock Lesnar versus Omos. I'm not joking, that match will be great. The show is going to create some big WrestleMania moments and give us some great winners, and that's where the question of this video comes. Who has won the most matches at WrestleMania? Who has had their hand raised more times than anyone? Well, I scoured the shows and compiled a list of the biggest winners. These are only from the main show, no pre-shows or post-shows, just the big pay-per-view you lot all paid a lot of money for over the years. These are the 10 biggest winners in WrestleMania history. Also, did you know nearly 95% of you aren't subscribed to the channel? Hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for more videos by me. Just a heads up, there are a lot of the same amount of wins, so there will be a lot of joint rankings, just like the first entry, joint number 9, Roman Reigns, 7 wins. We start with the big dog, the head of a table if he was at the bottom of the table and sharing a chair with someone. Roman Reigns has only won 7 WrestleManias out of the 9 he has taken part in. 6 of these matches were also main events, so to the people who said Roman was pushed in our face, it was only 66% of the time. 2 of these matches were both defenses in his current Universal Championship reign, which itself is crazy to think of. Defeating the likes of Edge, Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar in the biggest WrestleMania match ever. Fun fact, the only 2 matches he lost at the big one both included Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 31 and 34 respectively. Other big wins at Mania come in the ways of Triple H at WrestleMania 32, Sheamus, Randy Orton and The Big Show with his Shield brethren at WrestleMania 29, and The Undertaker's first retirement out of 28 at WrestleMania 33. With his match against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39 looming, I believe it is inevitable that Roman will leave the show with a 70% success rate at the showcase of the immortals, keeping his number of wins the same as the next entry. Joint number 9, Randy Savage, 7 wins. Long live Macho Man Randy Savage. Out of the 10 names on the list, he's the only member unfortunately not with us anymore. Arguably one of the best to ever lace up a pair of boots, Savage also has a great win-loss record when it came to WrestleManias. Out of his 11 matches, he only won 7 of them. Now, Macho Man's most notable matches he actually lost, such as against Hogan at WrestleMania 5 and Ricky Steamboat at Mania 3. There was however some huge wins like his victory against Ted DiBiase in the main event of WrestleMania 4, winning the WWF Championship tournament contested throughout the night, and his huge win against Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8, winning the WWF Championship in a great match. After leaving WWE, it was almost certain there would be no return and no more WrestleMania matches, but what a career Randy Savage had had. What an absolute talent. Joint number 4, Kane, 8 wins. The Big Red Machine is next in the biggest pile of joint wins, out of a whopping 18 Mania matches, being the third most appearances to 2 others who happen to be on this list. Kane has won 8. In terms of numbers, it isn't as impressive as, say, Roman, who has a positive win-loss percentage, but it's more impressive to look at Kane's as a sign of how long he has been in the company. Notable wins throughout Glenn's career have come against Randy Orton at WrestleMania 28, Raven and Big Show at WrestleMania 17, the best WrestleMania, for the Hardcore Championship, and beating Chavo Guerrero at WrestleMania 24 for the ECW World Championship, beating him in a wild 11 seconds. A record quick time until The Rock beat Eric Rowan at WrestleMania 32 in 6 seconds. Kane's biggest notable appearances were definitely in rivalries he lost, like with The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and The Shield, but that is for another video. Joint number 4, Bret Hart, 8 wins. Did you think that Sean would be here? Well, unfortunately for you, the excellence of execution got more wins than Mr. WrestleMania overall throughout his WWE career. Joining the cluster of 8-time winners, Bret Hart has had some iconic wins over his time as an active wrestler, some notable against Yokozuna at WrestleMania 10, the masterclass that was the submission match against Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13, and the best match in WrestleMania history, the greatest thing WWE has ever done, a match that deserved 10 stars, Vince McMahon versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 26. Just kidding. It sucked. At one point, you can tell by the matches he was having at WrestleMania, they saw the Hitman as the guy, just like joint number 4, Randy Orton, 8 wins. I hear voices in my head telling me 8 wins out of 16 at WrestleMania. I'm still going for that Grammy Award winning parody. One day I'll win as many as Orton has won Mania matches. As the song said, Orton has competed at 16 different WrestleManias and has a total of 8 wins altogether. The latest being a triple threat tag team match where he and fellow 420 lover Matt Riddle defeated the Street Profits and Alpha Academy at WrestleMania 38. In his 50% win-loss ratio, Orton has had some great wins over CM Punk at WrestleMania 27, John Cena and Triple H, we may be seeing them later, at WrestleMania 24, and Seth Rollins at 31, which saw possibly the best RKO ever. Seriously, if you haven't seen it, watch the screen. Great, right? Even though Orton has won some great matches, there has been some proper naff ones too. Need I remind you about both his matches against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 33 and 37 Night 2? Woof. But it's a shame we don't know what's going on with Orton, and if we are going to see him return, because we may not see him at the Showcase of the Immortals again, but I will happily say, whatever he decides to do, he can do it with his head held high. What a career. Joint number 4, Edge, 8 wins. Conveniently, I picked the Rated R Superstar to be next in the list, as one of Edge's 8 WrestleMania wins came from a super long last man standing match with the previous entry, Randy Orton, at WrestleMania 36. Altogether, Edge has competed at 13 WrestleManias over 23 years since WrestleMania 2000s, where he and Christian took on the Dudleys and the Hardys in a triangle ladder match for the tag titles and won. Edge definitely has had some iconic matches at Mania and some even more iconic wins. Ones that come instantly to mind are his epic hardcore match at WrestleMania 22 against hardcore legend Mick Foley, and who can forget TLC 2 at WrestleMania 17. The best WrestleMania against fellow rivals the Dudleys and the Hardy Boys. It was one of the best matches to ever take place at WrestleMania, but I think Edge's defining win was at WrestleMania 21 when he won the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. This match was the one to elevate Edge into the From this win, he went into an all-timer rivalry against former friend Matt Hardy and progressed to win the first of his 11 world championships. Mania has always been good to Adam Copeland. Let's see if it's the same at WrestleMania 39 when he takes on Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell match. Joint number 4, Hulk Hogan, 8 wins. Okay, I promise this is the last one. The last wrestler to win 8 times at Mania, and it's someone I didn't think wouldn't have hit double digits. Hulk Hogan. What can I say about Hogan that hasn't already been said? If it wasn't for the work he and Vince McMahon did together, I don't think I would be sat here now. Heck, not many people would be talking about wrestling at all if it wasn't for Big Terry. We wouldn't have even had a successful WrestleMania if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. Always positioned as the top guy, Hogan main evented a whopping 8 WrestleManias, which is still the record. These main events all came in the first 9 WrestleManias, 4 being the odd one out. Throughout his 11 different Mania appearances, Hogan has been in 12 matches. If you're confused where he's been in 2 matches, look at the joke that is WrestleMania 9 and the atrocious ending to that main event. Bret Hart versus Yokozuna. Wait, that wasn't the main event? Oh yeah, Hogan happened. Even though we had the politicking of WrestleMania 9, Hogan has had some huge victories over the time. There was the victory over Randy Savage when the Mega Powers collided at WrestleMania 5, his surprisingly great match against Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 19, which turned out to be his last, and who can forget when he main evented the very first Mania tag-in with B.A. Baracus himself, Mr. T, against Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff. Muhammad Ali was a special guest outside the ring referee, but Hogan's biggest WrestleMania moment came from WrestleMania 3 when he slammed Andre the Giant to beat the big boy in the main event, a feat that had never been done, unless you saw any of the house shows at this time. It is a moment that will forever be shown as the biggest WrestleMania moment. Love Hogan or hate him, you can't deny he was a Mania legend. Joint number 2, John Cena. 10 wins. We may be away from the joint 4th, but welcome to the joint 2nds, and finally, the champ is here. Out of the 15 matches John Cena has taken part in at WrestleMania, he has won 10 and lost 5. His last match being at WrestleMania 36, in which he lost to Bray Wyatt in the critically acclaimed Firefly Funhouse match. Over his 15 matches, it's crazy to think that Big Match John only main evented 5 WrestleManias. His 2 biggest main events taking place at WrestleMania 27 and 28, taking on his Hollywood counterpart, The Rock, losing 1 and winning 1 respectively. Apart from these 2 matches, John's 3 biggest Mania wins arguably run between WrestleMania 21 and 23. 21 beating JBL for his first WWE Championship, 22 beating Triple H to retain same championship, and 23 beating the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels to keep hold of the WWE Championship also. It also became so usual to see Cena in a big match at WrestleMania that it's felt weird not seeing him wrestle. Luckily, we will see him take on Austin Theory at WrestleMania 39 for the United States Championship, a title he definitely helped look good every time he held it. Personally, I don't think we'll be seeing Cena win here, but I would be happy to be wrong. It would feel strange not having Cena wrestle in WWE anymore, and I definitely aren't ready for it. Joint number 2, Triple H, 10 wins. 24 matches. Triple H has had 24 matches at WrestleMania. That's a crazy amount of matches to have, but it's still not the most. We'll get to that one in a minute. Out of these 24 matches, Triple H has actually only won 10 of them. That puts Triple H as one of the biggest losers at WrestleMania also. With how beloved Hunter was, especially in the Attitude Era in the early 2000s, it's crazy to think he has such a poor Mania win-loss record. The most iconic wins for the King of Kings must have been against Brock Lesnar in a no-holds-barred match at WrestleMania 29, Booker T at 19, which to be honest, only really got popular due to the racist as hell build and the 10 seconds it took Triple H to make the winning pin after a pedigree, and his final WrestleMania match before retirement, which was beating Batista in his respective retirement match. All in all, Triple H has been one of the biggest winners in WrestleMania history, but he's actually been quite naff at the event. We could say he tried to play the game and lost it quite a lot. Number 1, The Undertaker, 25 wins. You all knew who was going to be number 1. It was obviously going to be good old Mark Calloway. Not only has he had a whopping 27 matches at WrestleMania, but he had a world famous streak winning 21 straight until wrestling newcomer Brock Lesnar shocked us all at WrestleMania 30 by beating the legend. Look at this guy's face. This was all of us. Over the course of his illustrious career, the Deadman has had some wins in some cracking matches at WrestleMania. CM Punk at 29, AJ Styles at 36 in the incredible Boneyard match, which happened to be Taker's big finale, Triple H in a Hell in a Cell at 28, but we can all probably agree the best matches Undertaker ever had at WrestleMania were the duo with Shawn Michaels at 25 and 26. It is argued to this day which match was the best, but we can't deny they both are probably the best 2 matches in WrestleMania history. His streak will never be topped and no one will ever reach the amount of matches competed in. Undertaker will forever be a legend at WrestleMania and it should stay that way. What a man, what a career. And that's the list. Did any of these entries shock you? Leave a comment letting me know. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like the 2 on screen right now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.